Hello everyone, this is Barret Galaner for State Assembly of the Wisconsin 49th District. So this is official campaign material and so part of an official election. So YouTube moderators, please do not censor this. That would be election interference. Now, in honor of free speech, I'm going to show some footage that is censored off YouTube, namely Alex Jones and InfoWars, but not, nothing too offensive, hopefully. So let's go to Infowars.com, the famously censored website. Alright. So these are the latest banned videos. In a previous video I went over this is how Trump can be stop big tech censorship in 5 minutes. Nike pulls American flag. That's kind of, been talked about a lot. The communist overthrow of the United States is now live. Group backing AOC. Border demonstrations own emergency centers. Okay. Collapse of U.S. border will be followed by 10 times number of migrant invaders. Alright. Let's see if this lets me scroll down. Come on. Come on. There you go. Google to block all anti-cancer, anti-vax, and anti-GMO websites at browser level. Footage of AOC threatening verbally abusing BP agents exists. Border Patrol Union Vice President. Flashback, Rush Limbaugh predicts purge of U.S. flag. Personally, I'm not a big fan of Rush Limbaugh. Like I said, I am a Democrat, and he just hasn't ever really impressed me much. Let's see if there's anything else. Bombshell, Portland police claim Mayor Wheeler ordered stand down during violent Antifa riots. So that'll probably, if you didn't know, Andy Ngo's lawyer is planning to sue the mayor, so that'll probably help with that. Warrior promotes pronoun packs to celebrate trans agenda. Share your pronouns with pride. Chocolate sandwich cookies. Ask me my pronouns. I mean, are they not going to actually put down what kind of pronouns there are, or kind of help explain what those mean? Just ask me my pronouns? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to nitpick that, but father defends family against mob of 400 youths at German pool. Yeah. Migrant integration program a complete failure. There's Merkel talking to someone. I don't know who. Watch live. Democrats heckled and booed during press conference at southern border. That person looks angry. That's probably not the best picture of them. Police urge Buttigieg to recuse himself from shooting investigation. Virginity is a social construct. Satanic Miley Cyrus video promotes far-left feminism. I mean, satanic, yeah. American rapper crew brawl with migrants in Sweden. I'd say, well, what about, that's kind of already trying to talk about the communist thing. CNN is Antifa. Mainstream media outlet is the group's de facto PR firm. Hong Kong protesters storm government building, clash with police. Mayhem sent to... I'm not going to read all this because this is just a bit much. I know it's not very much on there, but I don't know, it seems kind of redundant. Hypocrisy, a socialist goes shopping. Far left liberal caught engaging in capitalism. Really? That is really newsworthy. But LGBT group says Pride March is not extreme enough. Putin plans cancel scheduled events at same time amid Russian submarine. Now you might be like, okay, what if it's not extreme enough, right? Honestly, like, pride's not. I mean, can it maybe be like gay humility, or not even gay humility, but also just LGBT humility, straight humility, human being humility, pride, right? Like, being prideful is not really the best, probably. But hey, you know what? That's a discussion, and I'm not just gonna waffle on that because I know it's not the biggest. It's kind of a touchy point, but really, like extremism. I mean, it really depends on what it is. Like, people used to think the United States Constitution was extreme, so that doesn't necessarily mean what it seems to mean. And then you might be like, why aren't you reading the actual articles? I want you to go read the articles yourself if you're interested. The reason why I'm not reading articles is because a lot of people just read through article headlines, so that's kind of what I'm doing as well. Report: Putin plans cancel scheduled events at same time amid Russian submarine fire. Pence deal with undisclosed situation while Putin dealing with Russian submarine crisis. USG's, I'm guessing US government, bizarre change of position in the Roger Stone case. A look at a very significant reversal of the US government's position in the case. Nike pulls American flag as Antifa pledges violent attack against. Oh, yeah. David Knight show, corporate media's Antifa mask is exposed. Kamala Harris, campaign lawyer, hired Fusion GPS for Hillary Clinton. Former top Clinton lawyer named in pending FEC complaints. Well, that's not great for Kamala. Mrs. Harris is not doing so well there. Second Clinton, perhaps? Maybe Marianne Williamson, come on. You or Yang. Or even Tulsi Gabbard, although Tulsi's kind of a one-note Democrat. Trump mules federal action on homelessness in Democrat-run cities. President looking seriously at hellish living conditions. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. Like, there's people pooping on the streets. San Francisco is just terrible. And, I mean, I'm sure some of it's a little bit overblown, and some of it's not. Some of it is probably understated. It's a bit of a mix, really. But the fact that it's become such a big deal that it's become mainstream news is, especially in a town that values tourism so much, it's probably really bad. Because these are tourism towns. Tourism towns try and keep this kind of thing on the down low. So if they're not keeping it on the down low, things have gone really bad. Beijing orders Hong Kong to crack down on protests. Anti-China slogans painted on parliament walls. Now, other than that satanic thing, right? And to be fair, even that could be technically linked to Luciferianism, which to call that satanic is reasonable, I think. So, or even the satanic cults, satanic temple, not satanic cult. My apologies, I got the name wrong. They're kind of official polities. They're very kind of very liberal, sex liberal kind of thing. Very sex loose. My personal opinion, that doesn't seem moral. Morality is a thing, and I mean, could it be a social construct? I suppose. But murder is also a social construct. It's not, there's things that are social constructs that mean things, right? And you might say a lot of things are freedom is uh, is often a social construct. Not always. I mean, food. I mean, services. There's a lot of things that are just social constructs that are just very basic. So no, I have to disagree with Miley Cyrus on that. Sorry, I went off on a tangent. Back to this. I do think how people, you know, connect their lives is worth at least talking about. It's definitely worth talking about, and it's definitely worth arguing about and debating and trying to see both sides. Because right now I'm definitely on the more of the side of like more conservative kind of side. Because the idea that sex is just because sex is beautiful, just because sex makes you cry, just because Sense8 makes you cry. Oh my gosh, that's such a great video. Doesn't mean that it's moral. Doesn't mean that it's the right path. And doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. So I think just because something's awesome doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. Doesn't mean it can't harm you. And I think that's something that it's hard to admit, and I think it's that people should be treated with love, and love and sex are not the same thing. That's another big deal, right? You can love people without having sex with them. Anyway, Texans call out AOC and other Democrats for lying about detention centers and border pressure. American citizens call out Democrats stage photo ops. Buchanan, is Putin right? Has liberalism lost the world? Putin sees social excesses of multiculturalism, secularism as failure of liberalism. Secularism is not great. Really, too much focus on the material world. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against like material pursuits. I mean, we're in life, we're in a material world. These things matter, but it's not the only thing. And that is one thing I kind of want to improve for capitalism too, is to try and instead of right now it's kind of like the government helps with morality, but private industry doesn't as much. So what I kind of want to do is to help bring morality, helping people. Well, morality and helping people. I'm not saying they're the same thing. I want to help people and bring that into the free markets, right? Price in things like the employees' mental health, employees' physical health, employees' well-being in general, and just their rights and how they're being treated. Like, these things should be priced into a free market, and a lot of times they're not, right? Ethics are not often priced in, and because of that, the free market hurts, and the government tries to cover that up and patch it up, but it's not really, it's not the most efficient use of resources. AOC outdoes Smollett, claims Border Patrol sexually assaulted her, and more. Firebrand Dems target border authorities and latest allegation. I'm not gay anymore. Pride Month over. Memes show companies ditch LGBT brand. Companies shelve Pride wokeness for next year. And there's always... To be fair, not every company has done that. And also, just because of the fact that they've stopped doing LGBT memes doesn't necessarily mean... It's kind of like very similar situation happens with American flags and 4th of July. So, like, yeah. Mini AOC mocks Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, just staged border photo op. Yes, the classic AOC. Imposter? No. Um, right. Impersonator. There we go. Sorry about that. From our store. Okay, I'm just going to skip past store. Hollywood superstar claims victim of pedophilia, molested while working for Disney as child. Excuse me. Bella Thorne says she was sexually assaulted from ages 6 to 14. You know, I'm half tempted to break my rule on that one and actually click on that, but I urge you to maybe check that out yourself. Thousands signed White House petition to label Antifa a terrorist organization. Sanders campaign uses Trump assassination scare to promote fundraising. All right, you know, I am going to look at. Hollywood actress Bella Thorne alleges she was a victim of pedophilia during her time as a Disney child actress. In a June 20th interview receiving little attention from the mainstream media, that's what MSN means, by the way, Thorne told a stunned audience she was molested from ages 6 to 14 while everyone on her saw and did nothing. The comments were made during an interview promoting her upcoming book, The Life of a Wannabe Mogul, Mental Disarray, where she opens up about abuse and other dark times in her life. So there's Bella Thorne. So they actually show the actual video. I'm not going to, because it is profanity laced. I do, however, recommend you check that out. Use Google. So that's another thing. InfoWars makes sure that there's a lot less. They do censor swear words, which, you know, is understandable because of the fact, you know, kids or just, you know, people walking by, you know, there's a certain amount of decorum, right? And so the transition is definitely tough, but it is what it is. It's like anything in my life. If you read the book, you'll be like, ha, transitioning from Disney to this was easy. I don't know, getting molested from when you were 6 to 14 seems like way harder circumstances, she said. You're being physically abused all the time seems like a much more difficult situation than having paparazzi following you since you were 12. I don't know, I was still being molested when paparazzi were still following me. So it's pretty hard in my mind to think of these big flashlight photographs and everyone thinking they know me and talking about me, but having no idea of the type of mistreatment that I was still dealing with at the time. That everyone around me saw and did nothing. So I don't know, you tell me what's so hard. Because that, to me, way harder than any of this other stuff I had to deal with on a daily basis. I'm sorry that happened to her. That's really rough. I don't know if I can read that. Just I'm not good. Just all right. I'm just going to leave this on the screen for a couple of seconds. And I'm going to read that last one. Please today stand up for every soul mistreated. Hashtag time's up. Disney has often been connected to pedophilia, says director James Gunn's 10,000 plus tweets joking about child molestation. Veteran executives John Healy's child sex abuse charges, convicted child molester Victor Salva, who directed Disney's film Powder, and more. Powder was a messed up film, so that really sucks. Hollywood has been a known breeding ground for pedophilia for a decade now, proven by numerous cases from Kevin Spacey to Roman Polanski, who's still a fugitive, apparently. It's kind of mind-blowing, really. And dozens of insiders, such as child actor Corey Feldman, have spoken out against a serious epidemic. In 2016, A-list Hollywood actor Elijah Wood said Hollywood is in the grip of a child abuse scandals similar to Jimmy Savile, and that there are a lot of vipers in this industry, people who only have their own interests in mind. There is darkness in the underbelly. Alright. And just kind of leave it off. I am going to read this now. I was sexually abused. This is Bella Thorne talking of it. I was sexually abused and physically growing up from the day I can remember till I was 14, when I finally had the courage to lock my door at night and sit by it all damn night, waiting for someone to take advantage of my life again. Over and over, I waited for it to stop, and finally it did. But some of us aren't as lucky to get out alive. Please today stand up for every soul mistreated. Hashtag time's up. So yeah, that's, kind of important. I haven't heard of that. Yeah, I'm sorry that happened to her. But yeah, anyway. So this is InfoWars, the evil InfoWars. That seems a reasonable, like they're actively trying to get that story out and trying to say, hey, this is not okay. And they're using sources, and so, yeah. This is my first episode of Barret Checks InfoWars. So yeah. Alright. And let's see. Come on. We're going to go back here to Barret Gallant for State Assembly because we're going to go to the About Me. This is the end of the video. And my campaign finance information, system records, you can go to committee ideas there. My declaration of candidacy, this is the official declaration of candidacy to show that I am running as a Democrat in Platteville, Wisconsin. And this has been notarized, so this is an official campaign. I'm not spending any money on this, but it's still, part of an actual ongoing campaign. So please do not censor this, because, if this does get censored, if I get elected, that's probably going to have to go to the courts. So please don't do it. All right. Thank you, everyone. Let's see if I can get this ended. All right. Goodbye.